All right.
We are live, I believe.
Yes, we are live now.
Yes, we are.
I like this. Ty got me using this StreamYard, and it's actually really cool because I was using Be Live before.
But yeah. Oh, you like StreamYard more than Be Live?
10 times better. You can stream to multiple channels. So I always stream to my YouTube and leave it private, and then I'll edit this, and then I'll put it on a podcast too. And
wow,
yeah, it's 10 times better than Be Live. And
we've been using Be Live, right, Sal?
Yeah. Well, we haven't tried an alternative, so I'm assuming that
I like StreamYard. It looks a little more clear.
Yeah, you can add banners. You can actually cut in intro and outro, I believe. I haven't even figured out all these features, but Ty made me buy it, so I bought it.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it.
Yes, yes. Guys, we'll get started in a minute here. We'll just let people come on.
Where are you guys at right now? I see you, Ty, you're at the house or the office?
Yeah, I'm in Northern California, so I'm in the San Francisco, Oakland Bay area. I'm in the East Bay. And then, Bo, where are you, buddy?
Las Vegas. Actually, I live in Henderson. I was a Bay Area guy, but I wanted to get out of California. And 6 months ago, I moved to Las Vegas and got married, and my world is different now.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Henderson is a good market.
Yeah, yeah. And by day, I'm a hard money lender, and I run a meetup group, a large meetup group in the San Francisco Bay Area, and flip a little bit, and then buy and hold in the Midwest. I like cheap houses, and there's so many of them. So
well, you come from San Francisco, so everything is cheap now compared to that.
Yeah, I like buying $9,000 houses. I don't know, it's crazy.
Mortgage is not even that in San Francisco.
I know that's why I had to get out of that market. It's just like, I mean, you can. I like Ty's market. Ty does kind of does entry level stuff, and he crushes it in kind of Solano County and Contra Costa. You do some San Francisco.
So we have Omar. What's up, fellas? How you doing, Omar?
Are we on Facebook?
Yeah, we're on. I have a Facebook group. It's called Real Estate Investing Club, and then so we're on Facebook, and I have like 2 groups on Facebook, so we're there. And then some people from the meetup will come and watch it as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, but anyways, I'll get started here, and then people are slowly trickling in here, but everybody's probably getting home from work, or rather getting home from dinner. They didn't go out. Are you guys stuck in your houses right now too? Are you guys?
No. We actually just came from the office.
Yeah, we've been working. We haven't missed a day of work.
I haven't either. I just work at my house, but like Ty. I mean, the Bay Area is on lockdown, and here, I mean, all the casinos in Las Vegas are shut down right now.
That's crazy.
When we say we haven't missed a day of work, it means we've been going to the office every day but Sunday.
Love it. Same here.
The grind doesn't stop, baby.
Same here, man. I've got my foot on the gas. I think this is such an opportunity in this market.
Half of our staff is working remote, and we're using Hub staff to monitor their productivity, their productivity and activity. But half of our staff, they were given the option to work from home, and they just kind of kept seeing me and Sal, I guess, just continue to come in. So they're like, hey, man, we're more productive in the office. Do you mind if we come in? I said, hey, as long as we're all, taking the precautionary measures, and we're not shaking hands, and no one's sick, and nobody's coughing, and we're good. Come in, and it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. So
there's something about an office, there's always something to do. We always talk about this. When you're at the office, there's always something to do, and I think our team members love doing that. Maybe.
But by the way,
she looks great, dude. She looks great, man.
I don't think she realized that she was in there.
That's funny. Hey, is it Bu or Bo?
Bo. Yeah.
Bo, you did put my name as Carol Reyes, and a lot of people don't like Carol Baskins right now across the country. So I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know who Carol Baskin is.
Yeah, Tiger.
From Tiger King, but yeah, I just don't want anybody coming after me, confusing me for Carol Baskin.
Oh man.
I apologize.
All good, brother. All good. All
I'm only
good.
good with
What's that
numbers.
called? HubStaff. HubStaff is like a monitoring service. So if you have some virtual people working, you track their activity. It kind of tracks their activity every few seconds, I believe. So to see what they're doing. But we do that for the people that are working from home.
Smart.
Omar asked that question.
Cool. Well, let's get started.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, my name is Bo Eckstein, and Ty and I have been holding these meetups on Thursday nights, and it was Ty's idea actually, because we're like, how do we motivate our local friends in the Bay Area and beyond, and everybody is at home, and we want to keep the motivation, because I've known Ty for a long time, and Ty's a really good deal finder, wholesaler, and broker, and he knows a lot of really great people like yourself. So that was kind of the reason we started. We call it Survive and Thrive, and I'm all about hustling and working hard, and I'm excited to learn from you guys, because I've been following you. I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know a ton about you guys, but I see you everywhere. I know you, but I don't know you, and I'm looking forward to really getting to know you. But I'm going to roll it to Ty right now to do some introductions.
Thank you, Bo. So I'm super excited to have you guys. So first of all, number one, thank you for being on. Carlos and Sal, you know how much I love what you guys do, love how you guys share. I love your guys' stories too, because they're both unique. And I think, a lot of our audience, a lot of the guys that, that have been following us, guys that I've known for a long time, even people I'm getting to know, can really connect with your story. And I'd like for you to share both Carlos. We'll start with Carlos and then we'll go to Sal, but just share kind of, early years coming to America, you're a young guy, to share your story of like, the humble beginnings.
I'll start out by saying that, my mom was fleeing multiple things from Mexico. She was fleeing the poverty, the poverty that we were kind of born into in Mexico. Now that I've gotten a little older, I would definitely consider it almost a third world country. I know a lot of people don't, but at least where I'm from, you got dirt roads. We had a dirt kitchen. We had a back house, where we would, use the restroom. We took baths out of a bucket in the shower. So our shower was pretty much concrete, a little drain system. And then it was literally a bucket that we would have to warm the water up in the kitchen. And then we had soap and we had a bucket, and there was no shower head. There was nothing like that, right? There was definitely no bathtub. So 200 square feet in the living room. That's where one bed belonged to me, one bed belonged to my brother, the other bed, the bigger bed, belonged to my grandma and grandpa. They would watch us while my mom was over here, trying to make it happen for us, trying to get us over, trying to collect enough money to bring us from Mexico illegally to the United States. So the first time, so she had to, somebody had to watch us, right? So she was fleeing Mexico, the poverty of Mexico. She was fleeing an abusive husband, So she had a lot of motivation to get over here and try to save the lives of her children. And the first time that she came over, or she tried to bring us over, it was through a border called San Isidro by Tijuana, next to San Diego.
Yep.
And we went through a gutter system, a sewer system. And we didn't make it all the way. Actually, the Mexican federales stopped us before we even got to the American, at that time, the immigration service, right? So that failed, and then she got us through that same week, another route, and then we lived in California from, I would say, 93, 94, and then we failed financially, for a single mom. It's really tough. California is very expensive, especially San Diego. We landed in a small city called Escondido, which was a very predominantly kind of Hispanic area in San Diego. And we failed. We didn't do very well. It was very difficult for her to pay rent, take care of the bills, her children, all that. Went back to Mexico. I attended school there. I started selling bread door to door in the neighborhood, and then my mom started working at San Carlos Bay Resorts. Sal and I actually stayed at the resort where my mom used to work. Remember, Sal? I took you there, and we had Cuban cigars on the beach, Sal and I, and it was a beautiful night. Sal sprained his ankle that night.
It still hurts now and then.
Yeah. He sprained his ankle pretty bad. He was single at the time. He was dancing and he was having a great time. Sprained his ankle, and we'll never forget that night because we walked. It was really late. Walked down the street. This really dark, like taco spot out of a truck. It gave us diarrhea for like 24 hours. Sal, yes or no?
It was horrible.
Guys,
I don't even want to remember that.
And I know you guys don't understand. We were trying to leave Mexico, and we would have to turn back because, like, we couldn't get far enough to where we needed to use the restroom again, right, Sal?
Like literally, you can't even get like 2 minutes in the car. It was that bad.
We gotta go back and then boom, take a crap. So anyway, my mom saved up enough money working at the resorts. I went from being a door-to-door bread guy to I was a kid, 7, 8, 9 years old, working at a big retail spot called La Ley, which is kind of like a Walmart. I was a grocery boy. I had my little cat and my little apron. I would bag groceries and then put them in a cart, take them out to the parking lot, and then ask for my tip, right? So I knew a little bit of English, so I would make good tips, like whenever Americans came to that store, and it was good. It was good. So we came over to Phoenix, Arizona. I came through a fence. So my mom literally, I've said this story once or twice because there's still a lot that I haven't shared. There's still a lot because it's really, to me, I have the kind of memory. It's almost like a selective memory, right? Like I like to forget my childhood, because of how hard it was. I like to forget all these things that I've been through, but sometimes they come out. And Sal remembers, like, I don't know if Sal was there. Actually, I was speaking at this stage over in LA, Hollywood, right before Jordan Belfort was going to go on. The event was called Accelerator. And I started tearing up, because, when you go back into the files, the memory files, it brings back those emotions, right? So that's why I don't really like to dig that far deep. And I don't, I talk about my story here and there, but the fact of the matter is, my childhood, my teenage years, my young adulthood was a very, very tough one. And the second time, my mom paid this guy some money, and she said, "Hey, mijo, I'm going to wait for you across the line here at the McDonald's, and you're going to follow this man, and he's going to bring you through the fence and through a hole in the fence, and he's going to take you to me." At this point, this is about 1997. I think I'm in the 7th grade, and sure enough, I trust my mom with my entire life, and I kind of duck down. I wait for this guy's instruction, go through the hole in Mexico, meet with her. She brings me up to Phoenix, and here I am. Became a citizen in 2012. I became a legal. I became a resident in the early 2000s, and it took me forever, right? Because they give you a work permit, and then they give you a residency card. Brother, it took me like 14, 15 years to become a citizen of the United States. I did it the right way. I paid my dues. I stayed out of trouble, and I worked my ass off, and then here I am, 2012. I got my citizenship, and I'm just very blessed. Everything, God has blessed Sal and I with everything a man could ever need, right? Like, and more. But Sal and I, what I love about our relationship is we don't let our foot off the gas, right? That's what people don't understand when it comes to me and Sal. So you have to remember, there's still a third partner, right? Not necessarily in our real estate company, which is offerkey.com and National Cash Offer. There's a third partner, and the guy's 23 years old, and this guy's a genius, right? This guy, Alex Saenz, he has his own multi-million-dollar real estate operation called Offer Home, right? So you have to think about it this way, right? My partnership with Sal is an anomaly. My partnership with Sal is rare. Like Sal and I became partners, I believe, in like 2016.
No, 20.
No, sorry. We met in 2013, and then we were like, let's go into business in 2014. Became partners in 2015, and it feels like we've been in this game for 20 years. You know,
It does.
we've been in this game for 5 years.
And you've done 20 years worth of production in 5 years.
I counted the transactions on Podio, Sal, and those are just the ones that I counted before we started using Podio, right? Because there's so many that we didn't count before Podio. 757 closed deals in transactions just in Podio alone. That's not counting. I don't know when we got Podio, but that's not counting.
Actually the new Podio. The old Podio we never tracked. We didn't track the deals because everything got scratched. So give or take another 100 from there.
But we could potentially be close to the 1,000 deal mark. But you know what? That shit doesn't mean anything to us, man. I want you guys to know that the reason we are where we are, brother, is because we have the drive. We have that immigrant drive, right? That adversity, hardship, X factor. And we don't take our foot off the gas. I mean, ask Sal, like, as soon as my eyes open, I do what I do my favorite thing in the world, which is work my ass off. You know, for me to be as blessed and fortunate to find another human being that has my principles, my work ethic, right? I mean, that's it's unheard of, man. You and I both know in real estate, partnerships are very far and few in between. People get greedy. I don't care how rich Sal gets, or he doesn't care how much money I make. Like that doesn't matter to us, man. Like we just keep our foot on the gas and we try to outwork everybody. And that's what people don't realize is like they're wondering like, yo, are these guys real? Yeah, we're real. We just work harder than you. We work harder than we did when we barely got in the game, but now we work more efficiently and effectively and at a much higher level. Every single move has a purpose. Every single move leads to a reaction, leads to some kind of fruit, right? Leads to some type of growth. And that's kind of our story, man. That's where we are today. And I'll let Sal go with whatever he got.
I love it, Carlos. Thank you, man. Thank you. And I know a lot of people can relate because, again, I know the audience, people that are watching, that, a lot of young guys, a lot of people. How old are you, Carlos?
I'm 35, Sal's 30.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that so much detail. And, obviously, thank you because I think it inspires our audience. And, thank you so much,
brother. Thank you. You know what's crazy, Ty, is Sal, I called Sal the other night and I said, Sal, you know what our superpower is? And then he's like, no, what is it? I mean, because, we work very well together. Sal goes, I go, Sal, we have anxiety. That's our superpower. Like we leverage our anxiety. We don't have like panic attacks. We're just like, right? All day, every day. Like, look, it's 6:48. I just built a huge huge pit for a playground for my daughters. And I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, babe, I got a conference call I got to do at 6:30. She understands. You know what I mean? I ate dinner early just to make sure that I can make this. And our superpower is we're both extremely anxious people. We used to think that was a deficiency. Like, Sal has anxiety. I have anxiety. That's actually our superpower. That's probably why we outwork everybody, So go ahead, Sal. I'm going to let you take over for the next 15, 20 minutes.
I'll try to keep it short, but my name is Sal Shakir. I'm actually a Catholic from Iraq, which is, you don't meet too many of those. So I came in the United States in February 25th, 2006. That's when I first entered the United States in Arizona, and that was it. I never left Arizona. We fell in love with it. And it kind of feels like back home too. But growing up back home wasn't, the perfect ideal childhood, upbringing. It was, as far as I can remember, ever since I was a kid, there was always some kind of war going on. There's some kind of conflict going on. And when the final war that happened, my dad had actually started a contracting company that works with the U.S. Army. And so we're Catholics, we're working with the U.S. Army. So we're like a double whammy, killing us was probably a way to heaven to someone. And so it wasn't that all that great. Our house got broken into a couple of times. My dad got shot in the house. My brother and I almost got kidnapped a few times. I can tell you stories and stories and stories, but I don't want to go down that path. I'm glad they're over with, and definitely God was on my side, because I can count many, many times that I could have died. Like literally one of the times that they broke in the house, I was running upstairs because I heard gunshots and whatnot, and the guy was trying to shoot, and he ran out of bullets, and I just continued running upstairs, and then somehow he got elbowed and fell down before he even load the magazine. So I don't know how, whatever it was, but I know God got my back. And I helped my dad when he was working with the U.S. Army back home. I was like his office manager. I was this kid. All I knew, internet. I was sending invoices and doing whatever I can. He would get the oil because he was maintaining the generators for the kitchens for the U.S. Army. And I would like drain the oil, like put it in jugs, make sure that I do everything I can to earn a little bit of living. And we finally came here. Once we came here, life. We thought everything is great. Life is great. We fled because that was the only thing. The for us was just to flee from there. There was we didn't have to worry about financial freedom was the last thing on our minds, like survival right now. How do we live today? How do we live to tomorrow? And we came here, and then we failed financially. And I saw my dad lose like 60 some pounds or 70 some pounds in a very, very short amount of time. And I've never seen my dad cry besides his brother's funeral. And that was the second time I see that. And it was kind of tough. So to me, that was the drive. I said, no matter what happens, I'll make sure that my family will not be in this situation. So I started going to 0-hour school so I can leave school early and work every odd job possible. I've painted walls. I worked in the AC as a helper. I did laundry. I worked in the laundry business. I did plumbing. I did every odd job that you can think about. And then when I graduated high school, I signed up for college, but I never went to college. I went to San Diego for the 4th of July, and there was this place that I went to. Was like kind of a party, and a job opportunity presented itself. It was with the American Army again, where I can be a civilian contractor trainer. It's called a rotation, where you prepare the Army, or we work with the Army, Marines, and the whole nine, and to prepare them in an environment, how to survive an environment like Iraq, Afghanistan, and things like that. So I did that for 3.5 years. I would go once a month or once every 2 months for 3 weeks, and kind of just do the training. And when I come back, I would work every odd job possible, the AC and whatnot, and then saved up a little bit of money. Then I start buying cars to sell at the auction, buy at the auction, fix it up, sell at the auction again. Just did every odd job, did Herbalife and other stuff. At that point, we switched from survival now. Okay, let's survive financially. And before you know it, I ended up buying a condo for like $14,000 or $15,000 at 18 years old, barely saving it was on fire. So fixed it up. My dad helped me with that as well. And one contractor and, or one handyman, and rented it. And then by that time, after a couple of years, opened up a car dealership. And again, just saving away every penny I can have. All that happened without, trying to go out buying, Red Bulls and Gatorades, and every penny counted. And in 2013, opened up my car retail lot, not the wholesale now, and met Carlos. And by that time, I had sold the condo. Carlos was working for this 9-to-5 job he had, and he was flipping hats and everything. I'm like, this guy is a hustler. We became really good friends before we even talk about hustle or anything. And before you know it, I'm like, Carlos, why are you flipping hats and stuff? Let's go to the auction. You'll like this better. So we go to the auction, pick up this car, Carlos, picked it up for Carlos. Carlos, I don't even remember if you watched it. I think you took it to the $3 car wash, right, Carlos?
Yeah. So it was a 2007 Saturn Ion. Yeah.
Yeah, it was green. And the green,
for 2,500, sold it for 5,000.
Yeah, made 100% on it, and and then soon after that, I'm like, let's do a business together. Let's do something together, and we thought about every single business but real estate. And he just had sold his house too and made some money from his house that he lived in before. So, and we were thinking about every single business but that business. Anyway, before you know, what's that? That was back in 2014, Carlos. 2014. Beginning of 2015, we established an LLC because we start flipping houses, not wholesaling. Actually under my personal name, not even an LLC. And then we start paying out these wholesale fees to wholesalers, actually advancing wholesale fees to wholesalers. We'd be like, okay, we want this deal. How about we pay you the 15 grand up front? That's how aggressive we were to buy deals. And we flipped a few properties, and then we're like, why won't we be the wholesalers to wholesale to ourselves so we can make more money, right? That's how most flippers start becoming wholesalers. And we just became good at wholesaling. I think we just outdid everyone somehow. And now we're we're a national, buying company and a selling company.
Our first wholesale deal came from a bandit sign.
A bandit sign.
Yeah.
Yep. We made
he used to work in Arizona.
We made $5,000 off a bandit sign, and then what we did was we were so scared, just like everybody out there. We were so scared of marketing expenses, and what's funny? We were scared to spend $2,500 on a marketing campaign, a direct mail campaign. So what we did was we partnered up with another local company named Highest Cash Offer, Jared Vidalis and Danny Crowell.
Yep.
And we were like, okay, guys, so we'll go 1,250. You go 1,250. Boom. We shoot out our first campaign. We made like $60,000 gross off that mail. We did 3 deals at $20K a piece, right? And then we were like, wow, that was amazing. Holy shit, like that's never happened, right? And then we were still too scared, and we did it one more time with them because at this point it's crazy, right? Like I think that when it comes down to marketing expenses risk, it's something that you slowly, gradually build capacity for, tolerance for, right? So we did it again, made another 30K, and then we kind of said, okay, we got to go our separate ways. We're not going to be doing any joint venture and marketing campaigns anymore. And then after that, like Sal and I just started pumping all that back into pay-per-click, and then pay-per-click just exploded. I remember we dumped like 7,500 and 9K, made over 120K. This was July of 2016. That was our first 6-figure month, July of 2016. And that was because we chose to put the way Sal and I operate. We were paying ourselves $5 grand for like the first 2 years.
No. We did not pay ourselves at the beginning.
No,
afterwards, we started
paying $0 in the first year. Then we started paying ourselves $5K at some point, and then we started paying ourselves $10K at some point. This is from the real estate company. Keep in mind, we didn't have any multiple streams of income at that time, right, Sal? It was just real estate. Right?
You had the medical commodity as well, and I had my car dealership back then too, which I ended up, I had 2 of them at one point. Ended up giving up one of them, sold it. Obviously, I actually lost money in selling it just so we can focus on the real estate. And Carlos was focused on the medical commodity, and we both kind of said, you know what, let's just focus on real estate. So everything was going back into real estate, and everything we did on the side was kind of just to keep us afloat. After a couple of years, then we start paying ourselves. And I know this because I held the accounting. I'm like, no, this is what we take. This is not what we take. And here we go. And then and it kind of helped us to generate multiple streams of income. Thank God that we have 25 of them.
we
network.
just love, that's what I love. Like, I love just creating shit with Sal, right? Like, I just love, like, Sal would be like, hey, all right, we're gonna try this, and then we just start dumping money into that. We've had some failed businesses. We've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars on an import export company, inventorycity.com, from that we were dealing with China. We've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, we haven't lost it completely, but we haven't made it back because we had to freeze solarfuse.com, which is one of our other businesses. It's a solar company. But as you can see, right, like, we use our money to add assets, to create other businesses, right? We don't put all our eggs in one basket. And it's been amazing. Like, I'm always that's why, remember earlier when we started, I said, guys, we're just very blessed that we have each other because we think the same way. If he's like, hey man, let's go start this business venture, let's dump some money, I'm like, yeah, let's go, right? And same thing, back and forth. And that's why we have over 25 businesses now, because it didn't happen overnight. We started dumping, everybody does this with their money. Just, we were like, yeah, let's put it to work. And you know what? Sal and I were talking the other day, and we're like, you know what? We lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in each business that we failed. 25 of them are still running. Keep in mind, we got up to 28. Now we're down to 25, right? And we're like, I can't wait till we lose millions of dollars a year on failed businesses. Why is that, Ty? Let me ask you this. Why exactly? So Sal and I, we're on the same page. We're like, wow, we lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And now we're like, I can't wait to lose millions of dollars, because that means we're playing at a really high level. So we think the same, and we're just very excited on everything that's coming out. We have so many things coming out, different software, different ventures. We'll see where the Lord takes us, man.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. I love it. So I'm going to ask one question, and then for everybody that our viewers, I would encourage you to post questions. I know some of you have been doing that. Bo's taking a look at those. I'm going to tee up the first question, and just for your business right now today, it's a two-part question. How many transactions in 2019? How many deals? And then right now, what are your best 3 or 4 lists or sources that you're targeted toward?
I can answer that. Give me 1 second. I just have to go back. I posted it a few weeks ago, I believe, in All In Wholesaling. Give me 1 second. My mouse is freaking out here. All right. So what was the second question? Because I know we can answer the second question right now.
Best 3 or 4 lists that you target for wholesale deals, for finding deals.
Go ahead, brother. You got that one. While I look for, I don't want to give any false numbers. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna dig. Sal, you answer that. I'll dig for the deals.
Let's do it. All right. So obviously lists and marketing, they go hand in hand. A lot of people, they like to get the list and they don't know how to market, or they know they're really good at marketing, but they don't know how to get the list properly. Data is king. And every business, obviously, a lot of people, a lot of your audience are wholesalers or fix and flippers, whatever they are. At the end of the day, we're just master marketers. Real estate is just a product that we do, but at the end of the day, we're marketing experts. So, how do you take your business from being a hustler to a business owner to a CEO? Is just the level of the skill set of marketing that you have. And I think that proves itself in every single business. Some people like to use it with affiliates. Some people like to use that in a model of providing a great service that no one would miss on. Or some people just use the mass marketing or targeted marketing. So list source is an amazing source of getting lists. There's a product called Listiva, which we own that product actually. We just launched it. We're finalizing it this coming week. But the best list for us is the absentees. Absentee is one of the best lists that we ever get. We always hit pre-foreclosure. Pre-foreclosure is like clockwork. Every week gets downloaded. No matter what, we're getting a pre-foreclosure list. Get the absentees, tax default. Those I would say are one of the hottest leads. Always get the 55 plus. The senior list is with 90 plus equity. 10%. Obviously, you know how list source works. Those have been great for us. As far as marketing was SEO was number one. Pay-per-click and SEO, which is online marketing, was number one for us for a few years. Now, actually, cold calling became number one, and that became number two for us. Direct mail, we did it very, very strategically. Actually, when you came to the event, we talked about that, Ty. And I don't know if you did that strategy or not, but for us, it always gave us 8 to 10x return, which is phenomenal for mail nowadays.
It's unheard of, but we're very strategic with the kind of like Sal said, we only do a specific strategy when it comes to direct mail. We don't do anything else. And, people are like, wait, you're getting, 8x and 9x and 10x. Yeah, because for us, it's low, it's low spend and high return. The kind of the way that we do direct mail. Go ahead, Sal.
Absolutely. So, and then after that, what we did is we dumped everything back into the business. Last year, we spent over $1 million in marketing for real estate.
So real estate marketing expenses, $1,077,868.90. 400,000 of that went towards telemarketing, which is cold calling. There was about $267,000 that went towards pay-per-click. So again, we spread it out, SMS, direct mail, but those were our top two expenses as far as real estate marketing expenses. 1,077,000. Remember when we started, Ty and Bo, I was just telling you guys that we were afraid to spend $1,200 on a direct mail campaign.
I'm actually gonna move inside so the light's better.
We're spending over $1 million back to back, 2018, 2019, $1 million in just real estate marketing. That doesn't even include overhead. That doesn't include our acquisition managers, base salary and their bonuses, and that doesn't include our junior acquisitions and our CFO and our asset manager and our disposition managers and our COO. We have a COO now. We also have a business development manager. So again, no payroll expenses went into that number. So that should tell you that there's people out there that they talk it, they talk the talk, but I think a lot of folks got to put their money where their mouth is, if they're really about this life for sure. The total contracts were 303 contracts, 36 of them were canceled. We closed 267 deals. So 267 deals, 2019. Obviously, thank you, Ty. Obviously, this year, it looks like we're not going to get there. We've only closed 50 deals in quarter one. We're not going to get there. You guys know that, February and March were kind of slow. I think that really hurt us. Man, if we can get
to highlight over that. So it's not just mainly for that, because we were in other markets that we were doing volume over there, but the deal size was a lot smaller. So we're doing big deals, but we're doing small deals in different markets. And we it was busy work, right? Sometimes when you're doing the busy work, you lose that you lose what you're doing in translation. And we actually cut the small markets out. Now we're focused on the big markets only. Yes, it's smaller, but the profits are getting higher, especially when we start laser marketing. Now we know how we actually start splitting, looking at last year and the year before that, and what we spent and what we got back. And we look at this month, this year, compared to those two, and we project on that. So now we literally project our monthly based on 2 years back.
KPI. If you don't know your numbers, you're flying blind. You don't know your business, and you won't have a business for too long. So you gotta know. Listen, it's very simple, right? If in our case, if you're gonna spend $1 million in real estate marketing expenses, wouldn't it make sense to track every single cent? Wouldn't it make sense to hire a CFO to do that for you? Right? I mean, shit, you're spending $1 million. You might as well grab a CFO for $60,000 to $80,000 a year and have them. How much money does that person save you? Right? See, a lot of people don't understand. Right? Just like marketing is an expense, your personnel, if you have the right team members, they're not an expense. They're an investment. I'm sorry. Just like marketing is an investment, so is your personnel. Think about it this way, right? I got guys that would land a rip, like a home run. John Hutton, he landed a $90,000 deal last month. Shit, that pretty much pays for his entire salary for the year. You see what I'm saying? So it's worth. That's the way I see it. I see it because I come from corporate America. I remember being literally used, and Sal used to tell me, like, dude, you work really hard, right? These guys were paying me $60,000 to $70,000 a year. And I would run that business like it was my own. And I would freaking bring them $250,000 every single month and not even think twice about it. Right. But that's the investment that Chad Miraglia, the owner of that company, he's like, okay, I'm going to give Carlos, $70,000 a year. Oh, but he's going to produce millions of dollars for me. Well, that's how we see our team members. Yeah, we'll give up a decent salary. We'll give up a commission percentage per deal, but you know what? You better be worth it. You better be producing. You better be carrying your own weight, or else you're not going to last in our business, because we expect everybody in our company to have the same work ethic and move at the same speed that Sal and I do. If we catch your ass, not being that type of person, you're not going to be on this team. And that's the difference between a lot of people put up with mediocrity. Like Sal and I are not comfortable. We're not mediocre people. Why the hell should we put up with mediocrity and have people be comfortable? Sal and I actually love to be uncomfortable. When we get comfortable, we get very frustrated. So again, that could be another huge difference of why people are like, these guys have only been in the game for 5 years. How are they closing more deals than the guy that's been in the game for 15, 20 years? Hey, listen, bro, this is a hobby for you. You like to walk your flips. You don't like to hire anybody. Right? You like to waste your time and be busy, right? You like to be busy? Good for you. We like to be productive. We like to be efficient, period. We like to hire people. We like to create leaders. We like to put those leaders in certain departments. Every single department has leaders. And guess what? Now we have a freaking army going up against your 1 and 2 personnel type of company out there. Yeah, we're going to win. Yes, we're going to get more deals. We have a freaking army. We built an army. That's something a lot of people aren't willing to do. They're not willing to build an army. Oh, it's too much work. Oh, I don't want to train this person. Oh my God, what if this person, what if I take a risk on this person and I teach him everything and then he runs and creates his own company? There's so many different things out there, right? But the fact of the matter is, Sal and I, we actually pride ourselves in being good, sound leaders that lead by example, and we love building and creating other leaders, and that's why our company is where it is, and that's why our company is going where it's going, because we have a freaking army that we decided to build right from the jump. We wanted to be Burger King. We wanted to be McDonald's. We didn't want to do, you can ask anybody in Arizona, right? And I love these guys. I love a lot of these guys. I love, the Jesse Delgadillos and Alex Sanchez. These guys are powerhouses. They've been in the game forever. They saw us starting to build an army, and they're like, holy shit, these guys are building an army. They're not doing the traditional, hey, I'm cool, I'm a fix and flipper. It's taking me an hour to drive to that one flip, and then it's taking me another 30 to an hour to. No, we're in the office. We're closing deals over the phone. When you're driving to 2 properties, we've made 20 offers. One of our acquisition guys. You see how that compounds into massive action? And massive action compounds and results into results.
I love it. I love it, dude. You're just bringing the heat. Thank you, man. That you're bringing the heat. I love it. Bo's been monitoring the questions, so I want to get some couple questions going. Bo.
Yeah, sir. So, what markets do you guys primarily buy in right now,
Mr. Sal?
So Arizona, obviously we're in Arizona. Arizona is the guru capital, number 1. Number 2 is a very competitive market. We are in Vegas, so we're in Henderson as well, where you're at. And we're slightly in California. We cut down a lot of the markets that we're in. We actually were in Texas, multiple markets in Texas.
I can tell what markets we pulled out of. We pulled out of San Antonio because of the average deal size. We pulled out of Fort Worth and Dallas because a lot of fix and flippers out there, unfortunately, they need to have more education. It was kind of hard to move some deals. So we pulled out of Dallas, Fort Worth. We pulled out of Houston. We pulled out of Austin. We pulled out of Nashville. We pulled out of Columbus. We pulled out of the North Carolina, which was Charlotte. So we were in so many markets that we were like, you know what? Let's focus on these markets that have the highest average size per deal. And let's just laser focus on that. And guess what? Our acquisition guys are much, much happier because now their commission checks are bigger, right? Because they're not catching these $10,000 and $12,000 licks in San Antonio. They're catching these, $20K, $25,000, $30,000, spreads in, Phoenix or Las Vegas or Riverside, So
what is your trending average per deal right now?
$17,588 right now.
Strong. Love it. Love it. Love it. Keep going, Bo.
Well, I just love it how he knows all his numbers. That's like impressive. He knows
These
every.
guys are the guys, man. I'm very impressed. I've seen a lot of people. I go to workshops, boot camps. You guys are doing it at a high level.
Thank you.
The other thing too, I want to share with everybody. I love and appreciate the level of focus and the intensity. The one thing is it's clear as leaders. You guys are so clear on what you're doing, how you run your team. I've been to your office. I know your culture. I've met your guys. I've hung out with your guys. You guys, this is like what they say they do and how they talk. They walk the walk. And I just want to share that that's really important. If you're going to spend time with, follow people, online, Instagram, go to workshops, boot camps, things like that, you want to be with the real ones. And these guys are real. The only way that they would be here with us is because they're real. They're 100. And again, I just love the intensity and the clarity. Please, Bo, go with another question.
Your business, is it all wholesale, or is there some hotel in there too? Are you buying anything? And
Sal, go ahead. So I'm the talker. Sal's like, Sal's the brains. I always say Sal's the engineer. He's the brains. He's the integrator, right? And I'm the guy that's like, push. So I'll let Sal. I mean, I know our business. You know what's funny? Sal taught me a lot about business. You're wondering like, hey man, how do you know every single number in your company? Well, shit, what else do I have to do? I don't talk to sellers anymore, right? I better know every single number that the CFO puts on my desk, right? So that's how I know every single number, because I get spreadsheets I get freaking PDF reports and P&Ls, that from QuickBooks every single week. Hey, this is what happened. Hey, this is quarter one. So yeah, I love to know every single number in our company. But Sal, go ahead and resort to Mr. Bo's question. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So we used to be very, very heavy in wholesaling. So what we start doing now is we cherry pick, fix and flipping now. And it actually became a very fruitful thing for us and our team members, because we start paying our team members based on the fix and flip, the projected a percentage of that, and then once it closes, they get paid for that as well. So that incentivizes them to pick up great deals for us. And we built a whole new department for that, which is Jaden runs that department. It's an asset department. So what they do is they wholesale it, they fix and flip it, and it's literally just lipstick. It's not even nothing major. We cherry pick them, and if it makes over $35,000, then it makes sense for us. And if it makes any, and obviously they make a lot more than that. That's just like the super, super small deals. So to answer your question, yes, we do both right now.
The last 23 deals that we got, it's been in like the last 17 days. We were gonna take down 9, and Sal and I went over the scenarios of every single deal that our asset manager, you guys have to understand, our asset manager isn't the two disposition agents, two disposition managers that we have. Totally separate departments, right? Our asset manager handles our flips. He handles the project managers. He makes sure that, the inspections go right. He makes sure that the listing, everything is set to go, right? So that's what our asset manager does. And he brings us literally a report of the potential properties that we're going to take down. And Sal and I start reviewing, okay, we can make this much money on a wholesale, this much money on a flip. So, he brought us, we were going to initially take 9. He advised that we take 9 down. Sal and I saw the numbers, and we both decided on 7. So we're still taking down a good percentage of those. But just like Sal said, paint and carpet back on the market. We don't do any heavy, especially during this crisis, you got to be in, you got to be out. I mean, speed plays a pivotal toll right now. So,
just to clarify, we actually, Carlos and myself, never look at deals like that. We just did that just because the special case scenarios right now, which with the COVID-19 and everything, and we wanted to see why would we keep those flips? Why would we actually not do a flip? And after doing analysis, it actually turned out to be better than we thought. We thought we were going to dump half and keep the other half. And it turns out, no, we kept 7 out of 9 because he did such a good job that he cherry picked them so well. And that's literally what happened. And for people that think that we're like in the business, we actually work on the business because all we focus on how we can grow this business rather than focusing on, okay, which deal do we pick up now? Why do we not pick it up? We actually have guidelines. We have SOPs for every single department, every single leader in the company. So they do their job. We trust their ability to do their job at the best speed possible, at optimum speed and optimum result.
When you were talking about the integrator, is that from Rocket Fuel, the book?
I think he just meant that I'm the integrator in the business.
I was just wondering because I've heard that once before, the integrator, and I was like, I heard it's from the book Rocket Fuel. I was just wondering if that was kind of like the idea. Because
Sal hates this the topic? Analogy that traction because he's a CEO, I'm a CEO, and people think of the integrator in the book Traction, which is one of my favorite books, one of our favorite business books. They think of the COO. He says, man, they really think of the integrator as like the floor mopper, right?
They do.
I'm like, no, man, it's not that serious, So
if you've read the book, you can relate,
Yeah, they make the CEO the shining star, right? And they make the COO the integrator, kind of like the whatever. He's back there somewhere, And
it didn't hit me until we start. We had some. We were consulting. Some people were consulting with Carlos and myself, and what are they doing with the company? And then based on their personalities, based on their skills, we had to actually switch their roles, become the integrator, become the disposition, and the other person becomes acquisition, and just based on what their skills are, what their zone of genius or zone of excellence, and they would fight it. Like the other person that has to do the CO and the integrator, COO, or the dispo side or whatever it was, they fought it. They thought that we were cursing at them, that we were thrown into the fire, and we had to force it on them. And then once we did that, things start working better because obviously you put, where you're best at, obviously you're gonna flourish. If you like something you're good at, you're gonna be doing just fine. If I switched roles with Carlos and Carlos switched roles with me, we would not be where we're at today, because that's not the things that he's strong at, I am not, and vice versa. So I think that's I'm glad that we talked about this, because a lot of people confuse that. They want to be this ideal thing, CEO or whatever that role is, or, oh, I'm the front guy, or I'm not the bad guy, or I want to do this because this is what seems to be cool. And everybody's on Instagram. Everybody's an entrepreneur nowadays, right? A public figure / entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. And they worry about the wrong things. Ultimately, you're in business to make money, and you provide for your family, provide for others, and build empires, leave a legacy. They lose that in translation, especially the millennials nowadays. All they care about is the Instagram and the shine, what they drive, what it looks like, what their title is, and they don't. It's not. I don't think it penetrates yet. Once you get all these things, the nice cars, once you get the title, these things don't mean nothing. At the end of the day, it really doesn't mean anything. When we go to work, literally wake up in the morning, work, go to work, finish work, come home, and what's the next move? Yeah, you spend time with the family, you spend time with, you make sure everything is good at home, but you want to make sure that what's the next move, especially in times like this. It showed me how weak people are. And I'm sorry to say, people are fragile. It just showed me how fragile people are. In times like this, the real, showed who's the real. Like Warren Buffett said, when the tide pulls, it shows who's naked, who's not.
Who's swimming naked.
A lot of people are naked right now.
I've seen that, right? Like I was telling Sal, what I love about, there's very, very few things to love about what's going on right now, right? But the fact of the matter is, I love the the curtain's being pulled back, and you get to see who's who, right? You got gurus across the country shutting down their real estate operation. You know, again, you know, you got people just running for the hills. You got cash buyers who were tire kickers. You know, again, this is a lifestyle. You know, this is a lifestyle. You got to eat, breathe, sleep, and shit this lifestyle. What else are we? Hey, there you go. You see that? That is a lifestyle.
Oh, there you go.
If you're all in, there's nowhere. I'm not running for the hills. I'm all in. I took the
Oh, there you go.
risk to get here. You know, I went all in the first place. Why am I going to run for the hills right now? Does that mean that when times get tough, like I'm just going to run for the hills? Because then you're not going to be around too long. And you're setting a really bad example for a lot of other people, including your family.
Look at Alfred. Look at Open Door. Look at the iBuyers. Where are they at now?
The iBuyers, God knows how long it's gonna take for them to repair their reputation, right? They left America. They left American people hanging, right? Like I said the other day, I said, imagine old lady, you know, Suzanne, who was counting on one of these iBuyers to buy their property, and she had already come moving out of the state and put a down payment and moved everything and blah, blah, blah. Like, you think America is going to forget about what happened when push came to shove? They're not going to forget. They're ruined for a very long time. And I haven't even read the reviews, but I can only imagine what those look like. But the fact of the matter is, this business isn't for everybody. You got to have the skin of a rhino. Entrepreneurship is literally a roller coaster ride, and you are not in full control. You're not in full control. All right. Again, this is why it literally says, look at this behind me, right? 97% who quit are employed by the 3% that never gave up. Some of these folks are going back to work when jobs reopen and stuff, right? Some of these folks are going back to work. People don't forget. People do not forget. When times get tough, people remember who was there and people remember who was not. Remember that.
Amen, dude. I love it. I love it. So I know we're getting close to the hour. How many more questions? Can we do a couple more questions, Carlos?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Someone said that I just built out my Podio. What tips can you give me? I'm a systemizer by trade, guys. I love systems. I think systems have slingshotted us to where we're at today because we utilize systems, we utilize technology to be ahead of the curve. And building out Podio, great. If you built it, you did a good job, then that's fine. But I do recommend getting something professionally done for you, so it does everything for you, rather than spending the time to learn Podio, to learn how to build it, to learn how to automate it and do it. Get something that's already ready to go. There is Podio systems out there that's built, ready to go to make you money, rather than you focusing on building that. Because at the end of the day, that's a tool supposed to make you money rather than consume your time to make money.
Can I add something here, Ty? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. When it comes to business, yeah, it's good to be innovative. Yeah, it's okay to try certain things and fail and learn. And, I get it. We've all been there. But you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We literally tell people the systems, the services, the tools we use, the strategies. You ask, hey, man, what's the best working list right now? Oh, it's absentee, 30% or more equity by list source, right? 100 people, 200, 500, whatever people hear that. And guess what? One or two people go and actually do it, right? So my man's telling you here, hi, Renine, that's his wife. My man is telling you here, hey, listen, we use Hercules. Right, the Podio is called Hercules by Investor Automation, investorautomation.com. You don't have to sit there and pay a programmer and build some Podio from the ground up. It's already built. Everything.
It took us 4 years to build that,
and it's scalable, right? And then the other thing that I want to say is like this, right? People ask me "Oh man, you guys got 110 deals in 2019 from just cold calling. You guys got 83 deals from just cold calling in 2018." Yeah, because we've had in-house cold callers. We've had Filipino cold callers. We've had South American cold callers. And then we did, we transitioned callgeeks.com, right? They do everything for you. Everything for you. Like I'm talking reports. They provide the dialer, all the training, quality control, right? Everything you ever need. They tell you what your contact ratio is. They tell you if your list is going bad. They tell you everything, right? And they asked me, well, how are you guys doing? Because I used to not believe in cold calling. Sal and I were straight pay-per-click guys back in the day, right? Cold calling sucked. 2017, we had 17 deals from in-house cold callers and combined with Filipino. And then boom, 2018, we made the change. We paid a little more, but guess what? 83 deals from just cold calling. 2019, 110 deals from just cold calling. Look at where we're at right now, right? Out of the 50 deals in quarter one, 28 deals from just cold calling. So we tell people everything we do and everything we use, and they're so hard-headed. They're so hard-headed.
How about we list things? Like I can name things. Like in business, by the way, it's so simple.
Data, right? Hey guys, where do you go pull your raw data? List source, Rebo Gateway, Citricado, the Red X, Listiva.com, propertyradar.com, right? So, okay, there you go. All right, where do you guys skip trace? Need2skip.com, 4 years. Right after TLO, we started using need2skip.com, and you guys can go check it out. It's absolutely beautiful, redone, whatever. It's TransUnion Credit Bureau data, right? What else do you want to know? Okay, who do you use for cold calling? Callgeeks.com. Who do you use for pay-per-click? MagnusDigital.com. Guys, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just call David Coyle and Terry Thayer and Austin Rutherford and Keith Everett. Guys that actually pay attention and like, okay, well, I'm going to use the same shit they're using because they're winning and they're getting a bunch of deals and I'm not, right? So you don't have to.
If people are cold calling and using Mojo, you're on the old. You're 1999.
We haven't used Mojo since 2016, right?
So share with everybody, and I want to just, how do they follow you? Also, I think too, like I know you've got a thing coming up on
Tuesday. Yeah, so Tuesday. It's a 1 day. It's literally like $297. It's a 1 day real estate.
I signed up for it. I'm excited for it. So
real estate acquisitions from our two sales directors who run our team and Alex's team, and they oversee the entire floor, and they're still in the trenches locking up deals every single day, right? So that's closers only, closersonly.com. That's a full 8 hours. It's probably going to go 10 hours. These guys always over deliver. It's probably going to go 10 hours of straight sales and acquisition advanced strategies.
They're actually going to close deals for people, for people that
and
are
they're going to try to close deals for other people. They're going to. So again, that's coming up Tuesday. Closersonly.com. $297. You can't beat that. You learn a strategy that's going to bring you a $20,000 deal. Guess what? Your return on investment is out of this world, right?
And it's completely virtual, so you don't have to leave your house.
Yeah, it's through a Zoom call. So,
love it.
So just to summarize everything, data, you got, list source, Rebo Gateway, Citricado, Listiva. You want a system, you go to investorautomation.com, get Hercules. You want a dialing system, all-in dialer. It's by Zenco. It dials 10 to 12 numbers at the same time if you want to. It cheaper. It does so much more. If you want a cold calling service like a company, Call Geeks. If you want a digital marketing company, MagnusDigital.com. If you want skip trace, Need2skip.com. Literally, that's all you need to launch a company right now.
Let me say this, guys. Let me say this, because a lot of people are like, oh, they're promoting this. Hey, listen, if you didn't spend $1 million last year in real estate marketing expenses, just be quiet, right? Why am I saying that? Because do you think that we're going to take a risk on using the wrong resources? If we're going to spend $1 million, you bet your ass off we're going to try to use the best of the best of the best. We're not spending, $2,000 a month here. We're spending $1,077,000 over the course of 12 months. You're right. We've already done our research. We've already failed with everything that you can throw at us, right? So before, again, when people are like, well, what the hell's going on here? Why are they, they use this and we spent $1 million. We're going to use the best of the best of the best, period. And if you guys got something better, please let me hear about it. And then I'll go test it. And then, and then I'll move forward or not, So That's just the way it is. We always we tell people all the time, like, hey, listen, man, this is what we use. We're very, it's really a success for us. But again, guys, you guys have to understand, real estate wholesaling, finding off-market discounted properties is determined. It's literally a two-component monster, right? You got sales and acquisitions and marketing. And then everything in between is systems and everything you can think of, right? That's what you are. As a wholesale company, you're a marketing and sales company. That's all we are as a wholesaling company. So people also need to understand that. Let's simplify it a little bit.
So what's a website we can get all those links on? Do you guys have a main page that we can view?
Allinmarketing.com.
Allinmarketing.com.
And actually allinnation.com. You can see a lot of our stuff, podcasts, services. So allinnation.com.
So let me answer this last question that somebody said. Where do you both see yourself in 20 years from now? Hopefully not bored. That's it. Hopefully not bored. Wherever God takes us.
Well, we have a lot more questions, but we've gone over the hour, so I don't want to keep you. But we'd love to have you on again in the future sometime. You guys are amazing, and
and we can go 2 hours, 3 hours, any day, man. We trust me.
Appreciate you.
Are you guys also? I know you had some live events scheduled, and I know everything's obviously changed. But let's assume that in the summer we normalize as a country, and kind of. Do you guys have something that? I know you do the momentum. I know you do a couple of different.
Ty, you know what, Ty? I actually have a video of you doing this.
Yeah.
I have a video of you doing that at Momentum, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell people that Momentum is just different from so many other real estate, events, right?
It's absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, these guys are so transparent. You could see the way they shared. We only asked a handful of questions. And you see the way that they just over deliver and share. And that's the same thing they do in all their live events. And, I've hung out with you guys. I have had dinner and lunch with you guys, went out for drinks. I mean, it's really like a deep immersion where you're going to spend time. You bring your team, you bring the acquisition managers and your disposition people. They bring the title and escrow people so you can really understand the components. It's, the team's in the back of the room supporting. So if you have specific questions, you're there. You guys hang out after the events, at the breaks. It really is an open book to your business. And, I'd say that, again, I've been going to seminars and boot camps and stuff since like Ron LeGrand back in the 90s and, a bunch of other people in between. I've done stuff, been to Sean Terry's stuff. I've been, Raphael's stuff. That's originally where we met, was at Raphael's. Yep. But I can tell you that these guys here just completely over deliver. They completely give you all the resources. And then also too, like when, I've reached out with you guys on social media. Hey, I got a question about this, or I need a resource for this. You guys are like, yeah, check this out, or, go to this company or whatever it is. So you guys over deliver.
Thank you.
And that's why I wanted to have you guys on with us, is to really share, because again, you guys are authentic. You guys share, you over deliver, and you guys have been I want to thank you guys for coming, sharing so openly. And any idea on when you might do a live event?
Brother, I want you to know this. A lot of people, they refer, even myself, when I was coming up, I referred to the word guru as a stigma, right? As a bad word. I don't consider ourselves gurus. I consider ourselves businessmen, right? Who actually do education on the side. We do education on the side. That's not our full-time gig. We're not full-time gurus. I guess we're part-time gurus, right? So the other thing is, when people invest money into people like me and Sal, like we really take that to heart. And that means the world to us. When someone invests money into us, we really want them to win at the highest capacity, right? So that's why when people go to our events, man, it's a connection for life. Like it's just a connection for life, because think about it this way. How do you feel when someone invests his money or invests his time or invests anything into you, right? You just want to serve. So that's where it is, man. We're not the kind of guys that, okay, we already made this money, let's get the hell out of here. Absolutely not. I mean, I'm hanging out with people on Sunday, then the day that there is no event, for that same reason, because we love people in general, but you can only imagine the kind of love we have for people that actually trust us, believe in us, and invest in us. It becomes family. It's a game changer for us. So that's where that comes from, by the way.
And to answer your question, all information is in allinnation.com. Everything, all the updates, allinnation.com. We try to update it as much as we can. And guys, if you have any questions, we always answer. If you want, we actually share a phone number, all three of us. And if you want to reach us, I can give you this number. Just text us whatever you question that you have. It's 602-461-7416. 602-461-7416. If you have any questions, shoot us that question and we'll answer you. It'll be myself, Carlos, or Alex personally answering your questions.
Thank you so much, guys. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Thank you, Ty. Much love, guys. God bless you guys.
Thank you.